Welcome to our lesson of Adobe After Effects. In this lesson, we are going to learn about layer property. Well, what is layer property? Each of the objects or each of the videos, or let's say audio or maybe photos or even text, all of them has different properties such as opacity. Then we have position, anchor, and all of those. And to do that, or like let's say to get the details and fix it or make more changes on it, we will be able to do that from going through our layer, or let's say our timeline panel. And in our timeline panel, there are a couple of things such as this options and these options. Well, we are going to work on our left side today because there is where we are going to find our layer property. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson where we are going to start getting to know a bit more about the layer properties of each and every object that we find out. So the first thing we're going to do is you can see that we have 4 of these objects over here. One is 2rex, layer property comp 1, which is the composition 1. Then we have is blue fill, which is applied over here. And the last one is our video. First stuff I'm going to do is play it up. And this is basically how it will look like, okay? But what if we want to make some more changes on it? Let's say position it and also fix the opacity, change the anchor and all of those, and also find out the degrees of each and every one. So what I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this option, which you can see from over here, and you'll find out these options such as anchor point, position, scale, rotation, and opacity. You can see all of them are on default. But what if I want to make some more changes? Let's say we are going to start off with our opacity. And when you extend each and every one, you will find the same ones, but you might also find like mask, effects, and then transform. You can see effects and transform. And over here, we also have content, as you can increase that size, or like you will see like all of the details that are available in a specific layer. So I'm going to do is decrease the sizes of these, and let's just go to the 4th one, which is going to be our video. In our video, I'm going to do is find out the opacity. Now you can hold onto your left mouse key. Whenever you drag your mouse on this number, you'll find out it will turn into an arrow. Then you can drag it by holding onto your left mouse key and then left or right to increase or decrease your opacity. You can do the same thing on all of these. Let's say if I want to fix the rotation, I'm going to fix it up like this. I'm going to decrease it. And then I'm going to, from here, I'm going to fix the degrees. You can see it will look like this. See? It's like very simple. I'm going to keep it to be somewhere around over here. You can also type in if you want to. That's like totally up to you. You can also do the same thing with scale. But here's this option of constraint proportion. You can do by clicking on Alt plus click sets of dimension to the same value. I'm going to click on it if you want to, but if you don't want to click on it, you can also keep it like this. Then you will be able to individually fix it up. Okay, you can see 49, 49. If you like keep it on, it will change up in the same way. You can see on all sides. This is also 67. This is also going to be 67. Now you will see it will look like this. But if you like click on it, you will see that it will look like this. Okay, one side will be changed, but while the other will not be. So keep it on like this and then fix it up however you want. Now the last one, or before the last one, we have our position. Well, positioning is a very important thing to do in Adobe After Effects. To do that, what I'm going to do is going to be selecting on position. This is also the same way. What you're going to do is fix it up by holding or going to left or right, and then you will get your result. Now, one thing you will ask that how will I be able to rotate it instead of this rotation? Let's say we are working on a text. Well, I'm also going to show it to you, okay? But let's just finish up this position and anchor point first. What I'm going to do is find out, and you will be able to drag it through your, panel over and over again and find out your perfect position and then place it up. Now, as you can see, we have our anchor point, which is going to be this dot over here. First thing I'm going to do is select on the selection tool, and you will find out, let me just go off to composition layer. I'm going to cut this off. And you have seen that we have our anchor right at the center. What if you want to change it? So you'll be able to change it by 2 ways. First is going to be our anchor point. You can see this is how it will be done. But you can see from this, you will see that your photo is, you know, like changing side by side. I'm gonna do is keep it over here, and you can see that we have our photo or our anchor right over here, but still we have our photo right around here. Okay, but now as it is in the center, I'm gonna do is keep it like this. Okay, another thing I'm gonna do is going to be fixing our rotation. It's a lot more better. Now as we have it, we are also done with this anchor point. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Okay, that is also up to you. What if you want to find out the 0 point on each and every one, because this is X and this is Y? First thing you're gonna do is going to be clicking on info. I'm gonna do is click on info again. I'm gonna close the panel. Now the first thing I'm gonna do is going to be finding out 0. You'll find out 0 right somewhere over here. You can still see it is like 16.4. I'm gonna do is find out that one. Now you can see over here we find our 0 or somewhere around over here. But what if you want to do the, let's say I'm gonna disable snapping first. First thing I'm gonna do is going to be keeping it somewhere around over here. And I'm gonna do is find out our anchor. To do or like fix our anchor, what we're gonna do is click on this option. We have pan behind, anchor point tool. I'm gonna do is take it somewhere around over here. Keep it somewhere around over at 0. Well, 0 is somewhere around over here, but we can also keep it on X like 0 over here. But first thing I'm gonna do is click on this option and do zoom out. First off, let's go to layer properties. Okay, we are done with this. I'm gonna do is click on composition 1 or composition 2, whichever one you prefer. And I'm gonna do is going to be selecting on this and then find out somewhere around here. So I'm going to take it somewhere around over here at our 0 point. Now if you want to like click on snapping so that your anchor will go ahead to these boxes. So I'm going to do is click on snapping. You can see this is how it will look like. And that will turn into an anchor. Okay. Then you will be able to rotate it. If you want to rotate it, just click on this option or press on W. And then you'll be able to change this however you want. See? This is like very simple. I'm gonna keep it somewhere around over here. I can also keep it somewhere like this. Okay, so it is like perfectly fixed. So this looks a lot more better. So this is basically how you will be able to do a bit of work and know a bit more about layer properties and also how to work with them. Now I'm gonna do is going to be clicking on these options. Now let's say as we are done with this anchor point, and if you don't want any of the edits that has been made on your specific project, we also have this option of reset. Just click on reset and it will revert back to its usual self and how it actually was. Okay, so this is like very simple, and also Adobe After Effects helps you a lot in such a way so that you get all of the functionality which you need to work in Adobe After Effects and get an end result. Now as we are quite done with our, let's say, transform option, which we found out in a layer properties, well, one thing is that you can also type in just like I told you. Let's say I'm going to type in 0, hit on enter, and it is like over here. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to just cut it off and type in 0, hit on enter. Now we have our, let's say, anchor right over here. What I'm going to do is zoom out. I'm going to do is decrease the size of, let's say, the photo. We can do that too. See, this is like very simple to do. So we are almost done with our, let's say, work with our transform layer properties. But obviously there are a couple more of them, just like I told you. And our blue fill option, or let's say our blue fill, let's say this object, we have our effects option. And in our effect, we have, let's say, fill. In our fill, we have these options, and you can also get access through them from our options panel. But as I have turned it off, I'm going to just keep it like this. I'm going to just keep it somewhere around over here. And you can also close, let's say, all of them. Now from here you can change the color however you want. Let's say I'm going to just keep it white, press on OK, and that will be directly applied. Okay, so this is like very simple to work with. You can also invert it, press on, and you can see it is inverted. Now you can see we have this grayish vibe on this photo, but if I turn on invert, it will turn a bit darkish. Okay, so this is basically how it actually works. I'm going to do is increase the size, and you can see the vignette is increasing. So we already know how we can work with our, let's say, layer properties. You can go through each and every of these tools and, you know, find out your end result so that you can like get your final result and see how those actually work. Okay, you can do it literally on most of the layers which you are going to apply in Adobe After Effects in your project. So hope you understood everything about this lesson you need to learn about layer property. And also, if you want to like add more changes, you can just go over to toggle switches and make more changes from over here, which is also correlated on the same part as layer properties. But obviously, if you want to get more detailed, you have to like just click on toggle switches mode and then, you know, extend it and then, you know, make changes on it however you want. So thank you for watching this video up till the end. And also, let's move on to our next lesson where we are going to learn about wireframes, or known as keyframe basics.